there is a quiet truth most people never say out loud. It is not that we are missing something obvious. It is that something deeper feels off, like a subtle ache under the surface of our busy lives. Like we are moving, but not really arriving anywhere. We fill the silence with noise. We keep ourselves busy. We distract. We chase. We try to make sense of it all. But have you ever wondered why even when things go right, we still feel unsettled? Why peace seems so temporary and joy always slips through? Maybe the problem isn't what's happening outside. Maybe it's how we're seeing, how we're holding, how we're living. There is a different way. It doesn't require perfection. It doesn't ask you to be someone else. It simply invites you to return to what's always been true. For over 2,500 years, Buddhist wisdom has offered gentle guidance. For those who are tired of suffering, for those who long for clarity, for those who are ready for inner peace. This video is not about religion or belief. It is about understanding. It is about practice. And it is about change. In the next moments, you will hear 12 principles, each one simple, each one powerful, and each one a chance to shift something inside you, starting now. So take a breath. Let the noise settle. Stay with me. You might just hear the one truth that your life has been quietly waiting for. Let us begin. Everything changes. We know this. And yet, we often live as if things will stay the same forever. We hold on to moments, to people, to identities, thinking they will always be there. But seasons shift. Loved ones grow old. Even the version of you from yesterday no longer exists. Impermanence is not a punishment. It is a reminder, a gentle one, telling us to stop clinging and start appreciating. When we forget that all things are temporary, we suffer when they slip away. But when we remember the truth of impermanence, we begin to hold life with open hands. That sadness you feel today, it will pass. That joy you're afraid of losing, it was never meant to be permanent. Everything is in motion. The beauty of impermanence is that it gives value to now. It teaches us to love without attachment, to live with presence, to say thank you while we still can. You do not need to fear change. You only need to understand it. Because once you see that nothing lasts, you begin to cherish everything. There is a quiet resistance within us, a voice that whispers, "This should not be happening. This pain should not exist. This sadness should not be mine." But life does not follow our expectations. It moves as it will, and sometimes it brings heartache, illness, loss, loneliness. Without warning or explanation, suffering is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is not a punishment. It is part of being alive. The Buddha never promised a life without pain. What he offered was something deeper, a way to understand suffering, to sit with it without fear, and eventually, to be free from it. When we stop fighting the presence of discomfort and start observing it, something begins to shift. The pain may still be there, but the struggle around it softens. You begin to notice how every sorrow teaches you where your heart still longs for healing, how every challenge shows you what you still cling to, how even the worst moments carry the seeds of awakening. Suffering, too, belongs not to define you, but to shape you, to open you, to remind you of your strength, your depth, your humanity. Peace is not the absence of pain. It is the presence of understanding. The mind is always moving, thinking about what just happened, worrying about what might come next. It pulls us into stories, memories, plans, fears, and we follow without question. But in all this movement, we forget one simple thing. We are not our thoughts. We are the one who sees them. Mindfulness is the art of returning, again and again, to what is real, to what is here, to what is now. Not to escape, but to arrive, to truly taste the food in your mouth, to feel the breath in your chest, to listen without waiting to speak, to walk without rushing toward the next moment. This presence, this awareness, is where peace lives. It does not demand silence. It does not require a perfect setting. It simply asks that you come back to this breath, this body, this moment. And when you do, you will begin to notice how much life you have missed while trying to get somewhere else. There is nowhere to go. There is only this, and this is already enough. We often hold on so tightly to people, to outcomes, to who we think we should be. We grasp and cling, as if our happiness depends on things staying just the way we want. But life does not freeze for our comfort. People change. Plans fall through. The things we thought would make us whole sometimes leave us feeling emptier. Attachment is not the same as love. Love flows. It gives. It releases when the time is right. But attachment fears. It controls. It cannot breathe without certainty. The more we cling, the more we suffer, because nothing in this world can be truly held. Non-attachment is not cold or distant. It is warm. It is open. It is trusting. It is saying, I can care deeply. Without needing to possess, I can show up fully, without fearing the end. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means loosening the grip, so life can move naturally, so peace can return. And in that space, without clutching, without fear, you will find something more solid than control. You will find freedom. Some days, it feels easier to close our hearts, to protect ourselves from the pain of the world, to turn away from what we do not understand. But somewhere deep inside, we all carry a soft place, a quiet knowing that we are not separate, that pain is not only ours, that every being longs for safety, for love, for peace. Compassion is not about fixing others. It is about seeing them, really seeing them, without judgment, without conditions. It begins when we stop asking, "What's wrong with you?" and start wondering, "What have you been through?" It grows when we stop needing to win and start choosing to understand. Compassion is strength. It is the courage to keep your heart open, even when it would be easier to shut it down. It does not mean saying yes to everything. It means being present with everything, even when it hurts, even when we feel helpless. And just like a candle does not lose its flame when it lights another, your kindness does not take from you. It expands you. The more you give, the more human you become, and the more connected you feel, not only to others, but to yourself, because every act of compassion is also an act of healing for the one who receives and the one who offers. Words seem small, but they carry weight. They can lift someone from darkness or push them deeper into it. They can heal wounds or create them. Once spoken, a word cannot be taken back. It lives in memory, in emotion, sometimes long after it was said. Right speech does not mean silence. It means speaking with care, with clarity, with compassion. Before you speak, ask gently, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Not every thought needs to become sound. Not every emotion needs to be expressed right away. There is power in the pause, in choosing the right moment, in letting intention lead the voice. Speak to uplift, not to win. Speak to connect, not to impress. Speak like every word plants a seed, because it does. And when you choose your words with awareness, you do more than communicate. You create peace within you and around you. There is a voice inside that always wants to be right, to be seen, to be important. It compares, defends, reacts. It says, this is mine, this is me, this is how things should be. That voice is the ego, not who you truly are, but who you think you have to be. It builds walls between you and others, between you and peace. It whispers that you are separate, that you must protect your image, prove your worth, stay in control. But the truth is, you are already enough. Without all the proving, without the performance. Letting go of ego is not about becoming less. It is about becoming real. It is admitting when you are wrong. It is listening without needing to speak. It is choosing humility over the hunger to be right. When the ego softens, space opens, love enters, connection deepens, life becomes less about me and more about we. And in that quiet, where you are no longer trying to be someone, you meet who you really are, calm, present, free. It is easy to notice what is missing, to focus on what hurts, what went wrong, what has not arrived. The mind is wired to fix, to protect, to scan for danger, and in doing so, it often overlooks the quiet blessings already here. But gratitude is the gentle shift of attention. It is choosing to see what has not been taken, what still supports you, what continues to hold you even on the hardest days, a breath that fills your lungs, a voice that says your name with kindness, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the fact that you are still here. Gratitude does not mean ignoring pain. It means letting joy sit beside it. It means saying thank you, even in the midst of uncertainty, even when things are not perfect, even when the heart feels tired. Because gratitude is not about having more, it is about seeing more. And the more you see, the more alive you feel, the more beauty you uncover. Even in the ordinary, this simple practice can change the entire shape of your life, not by adding, but by awakening. We are taught to push, to hustle, to strive endlessly, as if effort alone guarantees worth. But not all effort brings peace. Some effort exhausts the spirit, because it comes from fear, from comparison, from the desperate need to become something more. Right effort is not about working harder. It is about working wisely. It is the kind of effort that uplifts, that comes from love, not lack. It is gentle persistence, not frantic motion. It honors your limits, without giving in to laziness. It is knowing when to rest, when to act, when to simply be. Right effort asks, what are you feeding? Are you nurturing peace or fueling stress? Because every action is a seed, and your effort waters it. So let your effort be guided by awareness. Let it support your growth, without crushing your soul. Move with purpose, not pressure, with intention, not impulse. And in that way, you do not just get things done. You become someone who lives from truth, with balance, with care, with quiet strength. So much of life is missed, not because it is hidden, but because we are not fully here. The body is in one place, but the mind is somewhere else, replaying the past, rushing toward the future, trying to fix, trying to control. Mindfulness is the gentle return to this moment, to this breath, to this heartbeat. It is noticing without judgment, feeling without running, being without needing to change. The sound of the wind through the trees, the warmth of a sip of tea, the way your chest rises and falls. These are not small things. They are life itself. Mindfulness does not ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present, to listen more deeply, to walk more slowly, to speak more kindly, to live with your whole self in the now. And when you are here, fully here, you realize this moment is enough. This breath is enough. You are enough. Everyone you meet is carrying something you cannot see, a silent struggle, a hidden grief, a weight they rarely speak of. Compassion is remembering this before you judge, before you react, before you turn away. It is the soft place inside you that does not need to win, that does not need to be right, but simply wants to understand. Compassion does not mean fixing others. It means being present with them. It means saying, I see your pain, and I will not look away. Sometimes it means offering a kind word. Sometimes it means holding silence. Sometimes it means forgiving, not because they were right, but because peace matters more. Compassion is strength, not weakness. It opens the heart, not to be broken, but to heal. And when you show compassion to others, you begin to offer it to yourself. You stop being your own enemy. You begin to treat yourself like someone worthy of care, because you are. And in that space, where judgment softens, where kindness leads, healing begins. You are not a separate wave. You are the ocean in motion. No thought, no breath, no act of kindness exists in isolation. Everything you do ripples outward, touching lives you may never meet, shaping moments you'll never see. We often believe we are alone, but we are not. We are threads, woven into a vast and sacred tapestry. Your joy lifts others. Your pain is felt by those around you. Your healing helps heal the world. To understand this is to walk with humility, to speak with care, to live with reverence, for every being, for every tree, for every breath, because the world is not made of things, but of relationships. When you care for yourself, you care for the whole. When you harm another, you harm yourself. Interconnectedness reminds you that separation is an illusion, and love is the truth underneath it all. So here you are, after walking through 12 timeless truths, each one a light, a mirror, a doorway. These are not rules to obey, but invitations to awaken, to remember who you are, beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the rushing. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to live, aware, peaceful, present, kind. Transformation doesn't always come like thunder. Sometimes it comes like breath, like silence, like one gentle choice, made again and again. So begin there, with one moment of mindfulness, one act of compassion, one deep breath that says, I am here. Let these principles guide you, not someday, but now, not for others, but for your own freedom. And if your heart feels even a little more open, your mind a little more quiet, your spirit a little more steady, then you are already transforming. You are already free. If this message touched something inside you, if even one principle brought you peace, then let this be a shared journey. Subscribe, so you don't walk this path alone. Like this video, not just for us, but as a quiet signal to others who may need these words too. And if your heart feels called, share this with someone who may be silently searching for the same light you just found. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. May your path ahead be gentle. May your transformation be real. And may peace walk with you, always.